When we talk about intermittent fasting, we get obsessed with the numbers, right? The hours, the schedules, the willpower. But what if I told you the real secret? The one thing that makes or breaks your success has nothing to do with how long you fast. It all comes down to the very first bite you take after your fast ends. I mean, you know that feeling? You're deep into a fast, and suddenly it just clicks. You've got this incredible, clean energy buzzing through you. Your mind is sharp as a tack. Hunger? It's like a distant memory. You feel totally in control, just on top of the world. It is an amazing place to be.
But then, the eating window opens. You have that first meal you've been looking forward to, and an hour later, bam, it hits you. All that amazing energy is just gone. You feel bloated, your brain feels foggy, and you feel like you just erased all your hard work with one plate of food. Does that sound a little too familiar?
And that, right there, is what we're calling the fasting paradox. The very thing that's supposed to refuel you and make you feel good, eating, is the exact thing that ends up knocking you out. So what on earth is going on here?
And if you think it's just you, it's absolutely not. This is a real post from someone who's doing everything right. They love fasting, they feel great during the fast, but that post-meal crash is completely wiping them out. Honestly, this is one of the biggest reasons people just give up on IF. But the fix is actually way simpler than you think. So let's get one thing straight. This isn't about you failing or not having enough willpower, it's just biology. See, while you've been fasting, your entire digestive system has pretty much been on standby mode. And we need to understand what happens when you flip that power switch back on all of a sudden.
Okay, so first up is a little something called the gastrocolic reflex. The easiest way to think about it is like your gut's go signal. When you eat, this reflex kicks in and tells your intestines, all right, time to move things along. But after hours and hours with no food, that reflex is basically taking a long, deep nap.
Now, what do you think happens when you jolt that sleeping system awake with a massive, greasy, or super sugary meal? Well, you can trigger something called dumping syndrome, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The food dumps way too fast into your small intestine. Your body just freaks out. And that is where the bloating, the cramps, and that awful energy crash come from. So most of us think of fasting as being all about time restriction. It's all about when we eat. But the solution to that awful crash actually comes from the world of caloric restriction, which is all about what we eat. The real key to making this work isn't just watching the clock. It's making sure the when and the what work together perfectly in that critical first meal.
So, how do we fix it? It's simple, really. We stop shocking our system into action. Instead, we need to give our digestion a nice, gentle wake-up call. It's not just about eating. It's about being strategic and relaunching your body's engine the right way.
And here's how you do it. A super simple 3-step relaunch. First, you start small. Something liquidy and light, like bone broth, just to gently nudge your system awake. Then, maybe an hour or two later, you have a small transition meal with some lean protein and veggies. And then, a few hours after that, you're ready for your real, balanced main meal. No crash, just energy. And hey, let's not forget the unsung hero of this whole process, hydration. It's so easy to get dehydrated during a fast, and that just makes the crash a million times worse. Drinking some water or herbal tea before you even think about your first bite, that's like priming the engine. It gets you rehydrated and prepares your stomach for what's coming.
All right, let's build the perfect blueprint for breaking your fast. We can forget all the guesswork. This is your game plan for creating a meal that actually gives you energy instead of stealing it.
Here we go, a simple side-by-side. On the left, you've got your heroes. Easy to digest proteins, some healthy fats, cooked veggies. And on the right, the villains. Sugar, heavy fried foods, and refined carbs like pizza. These guys will pretty much guarantee you're going to crash. You want to ease back in with foods that are kind to your gut.
And this right here, this is what you're aiming for with your main meal. This isn't just a pretty picture. You've got the protein from the eggs to keep you full, the healthy fats from the avocado for stable, long-lasting energy, and the veggies to support your digestion. This is the kind of meal that keeps that incredible fasting energy going.
And look, this doesn't have to be complicated. Here are a few dead simple ideas. A classic bowl with eggs and avocado. A simple smoothie. Notice it's not packed with sugary fruits. Or just some basic chicken and steamed veggies. All of them are simple, they're nourishing, and they get the job done right. Because look, the goal isn't just to get through one fast without crashing.
The goal is to build a practice that actually works for you in the long run. And that means creating some smart habits around not just how you fast, but how you break it.
You know, success here really isn't about being perfect 100% of the time. It's about having a plan. When you plan your breakfast meal ahead of time, you defeat your own worst enemy, that impulsive, I'm so hungry, I'll eat anything version of yourself. It stops you from just grabbing the first, easiest, and usually worst thing you can find.
So, the habits you want to build are all about listening to your body. Find a schedule that actually fits your life. If you feel dizzy, back off a bit. Make sleep a huge priority. It's so important for regulating your hunger. And please, start small. Don't jump straight into a 24-hour fast. Ease into it with 12 hours and then build from there.
And on the other side of the coin, try to avoid these common traps. Don't binge just because your window is open. Don't ignore what your body is trying to tell you. And this one is probably the most important of all. Stop comparing your journey to what someone else is posting online. It's your body, your schedule, and your rules.
Okay, so we've talked about the paradox, we've gone through the science, and we've laid out the solution. So what's the one big thing you need to walk away with from all of this? It's this, right here. The real magic of intermittent fasting, all those amazing benefits, they're not just found in the fasting window itself. They're unlocked by how you choose to reintroduce food to your body. So keep it simple, start small, and listen to what your body is telling you. That is the entire secret.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. Now that you know that the success of your entire fast really comes down to that very first bite, what's one small change you're going to make to yours?